Hi, it's Nicole for Simon Says Stamp, and today I have a traditional scrapbook page featuring project life or pocket scrapbooking elements on this page. And this scrapbook layout shows how to use several 3x4 journaling cards grouped together for maximum impact on a page. So I am using 5 of these 3x4 cards from the Maggie Holmes flea market collection, and then these frames I'm cutting from a 12x12 sheet of pattern paper are from a Dear Lizzie collection from American Crafts, and I'm using one of the large frames to fill out the kind of grid design that I have here of the 6 3x4 or similar size, I guess, elements there on my page. They work great as almost mini pattern paper scraps or things like that. They're already cut to size. There's nothing you have to do. So I love using these kind of things for my page. And they already coordinate because if you're using ones from the same collection, because they're made to work together. So I love that. Now this clear piece that I'm using here is a 4x6 overlay from Becky Higgins from her Project Life collections. And I simply trimmed it down to fit my 3x4 card. And it makes for a nice embellishment on the page. It's nice and subtle, and it works well with the story that I'm telling, the photos, and the rest of the design. Now that I have my photos printed out and all of the frames hand cut from the 12x12 sheet of paper, I can go ahead and start putting or adhering everything to my background paper. I've already run my 12x12 sheet of pattern paper through my wide format printer to add the journaling to the bottom right corner of my page there. And I'm going to adhere those 3x4 cards and also that hand-cut frame in a grid style to the top 2/3 of my page. And I'm layering some of these other frames on top of the 3x4 cards using the little photos here that I edited and sized down in my photo editing software. I measured the inside of all these hand-drawn frames and then sized my photos accordingly and then printed them out on a single sheet of photo paper and then just cut them off. And I didn't get them sized exact, so I'm having to trim just a little bit here and there. I knew I was probably going to have to on a couple of them, so I tried to leave a little margin of error there. I'm going to attach a chipboard frame next to where I'm going to add my title, and then I have a whole bunch of embellishments laying out here that I'm going to adhere to my page. And I chose to go with a lot of gold embellishments to keep the color scheme mainly to the cream and pinks and then gold. And then that little pop of color with the black chipboard sticker camera. So I'm attaching all of my elements or embellishments. I'm using a whole bunch of vellum pre-cut or pre-made little circles and hearts and things like that. And embellishing with some gold chipboard hearts from Studio Calico as well as some cork hearts from Studio Calico. I'm using my acrylic block to hold any of those vellum shapes in place. I'm using the Zig liquid glue pen, and it tends to make some of the vellum curl up a little bit when the glue isn't dry. Once the glue is dry, they're fine. They aren't going to curl up. So I like to use acrylic blocks because usually I have them laying out on my desk and they're handy and they're nice and heavy and flat, and so they hold things in place while the glue dries because it dries really quickly, so I don't have to leave it there very long. And I've just found that tends to work really well to hold or to help keep my elements laying flat against whatever I'm designing. So I'm just going to continue to attach the rest of my embellishments, and then I'm ready to add my title with the Simon Says Stamp die and stamp, and I'm almost finished with my page. Going to apply just a few more small embellishments here and there. I had a whole bunch of things laid out, and I ended up not using everything I had laid out, but I love, it gives me a lot of inspiration. I just grab a lot of things that I think I might use, and some of those things work, some don't, as you get going designing. So this is the big U die from Simon Says Stamp. It's an exclusive die from Simon. And I'm going to take another one of those 3x4 journaling cards from the Flea Market collection, and I'm going to lay it on its side this time and die cut my title from this card. Now, it wouldn't fit the other way anyway, that's why I laid it horizontally, but I really wanted all of those colors of that paint chip looking card to show on my title here. So I love how it looks. And I did go ahead and cut 3 or 4 more of the same word from just some craft cardstock. I'm going to stamp the rest of my title using this pretty gold ink from Sukaneko. And then I'm going to use that Zig glue pen again to apply some adhesive and glue these craft die cut words back to back. So I have 3 of these in craft, and then my 4th one is going to be the pattern paper one cut from the Project Life card that I'll apply on top. This makes my own custom chipboard title for my page. This is one of my favorite ways of creating custom titles that look almost like a pre-made embellishment. So I'll add a little glue to all of that now. It makes it nice and dimensional, and it goes nicely with the chipboard camera right next to it. So I think it all looks like it fits together really well. It doesn't make it look quite so flat if I had just adhered that die cut word directly to the background of my page. Finally, I'm just going to go through my page and apply some sequins here and there. I'm just using some pinks and gold sequins from Studio Calico. And my favorite way of attaching sequins is to use these ThermoWeb Bling little glue dots. I found that I don't particularly love how things like glossy accents or other liquid glues kind of squish out underneath my sequins and can leave a mess. Especially with me, I tend to just make a mess with it. So I really love using these little teeny tiny bling glue dots to attach sequins to my pages. They're nice and small, so they work well for a variety of sequin designs. I hope you've enjoyed this video showcasing how to use 3x4 Project Life or pocket scrapbooking cards on a traditional 12x12 layout. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.